It's 11:47 p.m. on a Wednesday. You're still at your laptop, still answering emails, still just finishing up the project that was supposed to be done 3 days ago. Your manager sent you a Slack message at 10:30. Great work on the presentation. You're really showing leadership potential. You screenshot it, send it to your partner. You feel something. Pride, maybe. Validation. But here's what you don't realize in that moment. You just got promoted to a more expensive prison. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why every step up the career ladder makes you financially weaker, not stronger. And once you see it, you'll understand why the people at the top of your company want you climbing, but they're not climbing with you anymore. This is the career trap, and you're in it right now. Let me tell you about James. James is 32. He started at his company as a junior analyst making $48,000 a year. He worked hard, came in early, stayed late, volunteered for projects nobody else wanted, and it paid off. After 2 years, promotion, $62,000, associate analyst. After 2 more years, promotion, $78,000, senior analyst. Last year, another promotion, $95,000, team lead. On paper, James is winning. In 7 years, he nearly doubled his salary. His parents are proud, his friends are impressed, his LinkedIn profile looks incredible. But here's what nobody sees. When James made $48,000, he lived in an $800 a month apartment with 2 roommates. He drove a 2008 Honda Civic he'd paid off. He ate lunch from home most days. His expenses, about $2,400 a month. He was saving $600 a month after taxes. Now James makes $95,000, but he lives alone in a $1,900 apartment, appropriate for his level. He drives a 2022 Audi $640 a month because clients notice these things. He eats out most days because he's too busy to meal prep. His expenses? $4,200 a month. He's saving $200 a month, sometimes less. James makes double the salary, but he's saving 1/3 as much. He climbed the ladder and got poorer. Here's what's happening. And this is where it gets dark. Every promotion comes with 3 things: a salary increase, a lifestyle expectation, a time increase. The salary increase is obvious. They tell you about that. But here's what they don't tell you. The lifestyle expectation and time increase destroy the salary increase. Let me break down the math. When James got promoted to senior analyst, he got a $16,000 raise. Sounds great. But suddenly, his team expected him to look the part. That meant better apartment in a better neighborhood, $400 more a month, better car because he's now client-facing, $440 a month payment, better wardrobe because he's representing the company, $150 a month average, more dinners out because he's networking, $300 more a month. That's $1,290 per month in new expenses, over $15,000 per year. His $16,000 raise bought him $15,000 in new required expenses. Net benefit? $1,000 per year, $83 per month. But here's where it gets worse. His hours increased from 45 per week to 55. That's 520 more hours per year. So he's working 520 more hours for an extra $1,000. That's $1.92 per hour for the promotion. Less than minimum wage for a promotion to senior analyst. And nobody told him this, because if they did, he wouldn't have taken it. But here's the real genius of the career trap. It doesn't feel like you're getting poorer. It feels like you're succeeding. Because the system gives you 3 things that feel like progress. 1. Status. That new title on your business card, the corner office, the invitation to meetings you weren't invited to before. Status is free for the company to give you, but it makes you feel valued. And here's the trick. Status makes you spend money to maintain it. You can't show up to the leadership meeting in the same clothes you wore as a junior analyst. You can't drive the same beat-up car now that you're senior management. The status costs you money, but it feels like you're winning. 2. Validation. Your manager tells you you're leadership material, you're on the partner track, you're being groomed for bigger things. This validation is addictive. So when they ask you to work the weekend, you do it, because you're being groomed for bigger things. When they ask you to take on more responsibility without more pay, you do it, because you're leadership material. You start sacrificing more of your life for the promise of future rewards. But here's what they don't tell you. The people at the top already made their money. They're not on the ladder anymore. They own equity, they have options, they have deals you'll never be offered. You're climbing a ladder that doesn't actually go where you think it goes. 3. Comparison. You're not comparing yourself to where you were, you're comparing yourself to your new peer group. When James made $48,000, he felt fine. He could afford his life. Now he makes $95,000 and feels broke. Why? Because now he's comparing himself to other team leads, and they have nicer apartments, better cars. They vacation in Europe, not camping. The goalposts moved, and they'll keep moving with every promotion. This is how someone making $250,000 can feel poorer than they did making $60,000. The peer group changed, the expectations changed, the lifestyle requirements changed, but the trap stayed the same. Now here's the part that really gets me. Every promotion steals more of your time. James went from 45-hour weeks to 55-hour weeks, but it doesn't stop there. At 55 hours, he's now expected to be available. That means emails after 9 p.m., Slack messages on weekends, quick calls during vacation. His phone is always on, his laptop always nearby. He's never fully off. And here's the insidious part. He can't admit this is a problem because he's leadership material. Leaders don't complain about hours. So he keeps taking on more responsibility, more projects, more stress. And every year his salary increases by maybe 5 to 8%, but his time commitment increases by 10 to 15%. He's selling more of his life for less money per hour every single year. This is why people burn out at the top, not at the bottom. The bottom is hard because you don't have money. The top is hard because you don't have time, and you can't admit it, and you can't leave because your lifestyle requires the salary. You climbed into golden handcuffs, and they get tighter with every promotion. So what's the alternative? I'm not saying don't take promotions. I'm saying understand what you're actually trading. Here's what James could have done differently, and what you can still do. When you get promoted, don't inflate your lifestyle to match. This is the hardest rule to follow because everyone around you is upgrading and you'll feel pressure to keep up. But if James kept his $2,400 per month expenses when he got promoted to $78,000, he'd be saving $2,100 per month. Over 5 years, that's $126,000 in savings. Invested at 8% returns, that's over $150,000. That's freedom money. That's I can leave this job if it gets toxic money. But instead, he upgraded his lifestyle. Now he's saving $200 per month. Over 5 years, that's $12,000. One choice, 12x difference in outcome. Negotiate for equity, not just salary. If you're at a company with equity, fight for it in every promotion. Stock options, profit sharing, ownership. Because equity grows without your time, salary requires your time. The people at the top of your company got rich on equity, not salary. You're fighting for salary while they're collecting on ownership. Build something on the side that doesn't require promotion. This is the real escape hatch. A side business, freelancing, investments, anything that generates income independent of your job title. Because here's the truth. Your career path is designed to keep you dependent. Every promotion gives you just enough more money to make you afraid to leave, just enough status to make you feel important, just enough validation to keep you grinding. But it never gives you ownership, it never gives you equity, it never gives you freedom. Here's the bottom line. The career trap works because it feels like progress. You're climbing, you're achieving, you're growing. But if you're trading more time for slightly more money, and that money immediately goes to maintaining the lifestyle your new position requires, you're not getting richer, you're just getting busier. The people who escape the career trap aren't the ones who climb the highest, they're the ones who realize the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. They're the ones who take promotions strategically, not automatically. They're the ones who keep their expenses low even as their income grows. They're the ones who build equity, not just earn salary. And most importantly, they're the ones who understand that career success and financial freedom are not the same thing. One is about impressing other people. The other is about owning your time. James is still climbing, still grinding, still believing the next promotion will be the one that finally gives him breathing room. But I know how this story ends because I've seen it 1,000 times. The ladder doesn't lead to freedom, it leads to a nicer prison. If you're starting to see your career differently after this, if you're realizing that promotion you've been chasing might actually be a trap, subscribe to Exposure. We break down the systems that control your money and your time, not to make you cynical, but to make you free. New videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Each one shows you how the game actually works. You don't have to quit your job, but you do need to stop letting it trap you.